What's going on, YouTube? First video is here, finally. It took me forever, but here we are. First video. And we're going to be ranking every single shotgun in Fortnite in a tier list fashion. So if you don't know tier list, S like God tier, A, great, B, okay, C, pretty bad, and D, worst of the worst. Let's just get started. Dragon's Breath, D tier shotgun in my opinion. I didn't think it was that good. The fire would get you killed more than it would kill the opponent. Really good right in front of their face, like 2 meters away. Other than that, pretty awful. So for the versatility reasons, it gets a D. Damage, it's okay, but I think it belongs down here. I don't think many people will disagree with that. D or C, I mean, it's interchangeable. Auto shotgun, B tier. I think it's a pretty good shotgun. It's like I said, it's middle of the road. That's where it belongs in B. Worse than the TAC in my opinion, or the Maven, which we will have coming up soon. Not great, but not terrible. Charge shotgun. This is an interesting one. It's either between A, B, or C. It's one of the middle three. I think I'm going to put it B. I think B is doing it a service. If you knew how to use this gun, you're one of the best players. I think in Chapter 2, Season 3, when this came out, if you knew how to use this shotgun, you would just destroy everybody, especially with the Mythic. That thing was gross. I think you might have been able to hit for over 200 with it. I'm not sure. But the learning curve for this gun, how hard it was to use it, has to bring it down from A to B. So I think it stays in B. Great shotgun if you were good with it. If not, if you didn't know how to use this gun, you're really going to struggle with that whole charge up effect. So I think B is where it belongs. Combat shotgun. Now pre-patch, pre-nerf combat shotgun. Anybody who played season 9, I believe it came out in, of chapter 1, this is a S or A tier. Definitely S tier, actually. Probably one of the best shotguns of all time. Now where it currently stands in the game, C tier. I think it has its purpose. No build, it's okay. Shoots far, but absolute fall from grace from where it used to be. Definitely in the S tier. If you remember, comment, let me know if you were there, if you're an OG for the combat, when it was absolutely broken. But how it currently stands, I think C tier is fun. Double barrel, I think B tier. I think it's a middle of the road shotgun again. Better than the Dragon's Breath. I think they kind of serve the same purpose to be like just total blunderbusses at close ranges. I think B tier is a good spot for it. I don't think it belongs lower than that in C, and I don't think I can give it any higher into A or S. Seeing which some of the god tier shotguns we have coming up. I think B is okay at close range. It would destroy. And by the way, this is not the dub. The dub is later. The dub is down here. That will come later. Drum shotgun, surprising. I think it's going to go in the A tier. I think at launch, this thing was not that great. Probably would have been a C tier shotgun. But with the addition of no build and the unvaulting of the drum shotgun, this gun became a ton better. I mean, this thing was the meta in no build. You had to use a drum shotgun in no build. You get right in someone's face, 4 or 5 shots, they were dead. You had 12 shots in a drum. This thing was broken in no build, and I think it deserves A. Heavy shotgun, old heavy shotgun, probably an A or B tier, but the current one with the slugs, I hate it. C tier. I think it needs the slug. I mean, you have to be so accurate with the slug, and you basically are not going to be able to hit fire it. I don't think it's great at all. I think it gets absolutely outclassed by the Maven and the Thunder. I don't know why you would take this in the current meta. So I think C is where it belongs. Lever action, middle of the road shotgun. I was debating putting this in C, but I think it's just a worse version of TAC. I think that and the auto shotgun are kind of on the same level. I know there's like a fan club for this this lever action shotgun. People love this gun. Not for me. I feel like I was hitting too many 20s and 30s with it 2 seasons ago. I think it was the Chrome season. Makeshift shotgun, D tier. Not a question about it. Makeshift shotgun is going in the D tier. Awful, worst shotgun of all time. I don't even need to talk about it. Maven. I think the Maven is it's either B or A tier. I think that and the TAC are pretty similar. I think the TAC edges it out a little bit, so I'm going to give it a B tier. This could be really B or A. I mean, that and the TAC are pretty interchangeable. I'm still figuring out the Maven, as I'm sure most of you guys are. It's okay. I think it's a pretty solid shotgun. I mean, there's only 3 shotguns in the game now, 4 with the addition of the heavy. And I think this is probably the second best in the game right now. Okay, this is back from the Primal season. This is like the drum shotgun ripoff. I remember this, even though I barely played that season. C tier. The only reason it's not in D tier is because you can get in someone's face and spam it. Not really much to say on this thing. The Mythic actually was pretty good. If it's the Mythic, it's probably B tier. But as it currently stands, I mean, actually, on launch, it was really good, and then they nerfed it into the ground. So I think C is where it belongs. I don't think I can give it any higher than that. Prime shotgun. A or S tier. S tier. I think the Prime shotgun's an S tier shotgun. I think when it came out, everyone was kind of iffy about the whole Prime effect and the first shot doing more damage. But if you really understood how to use this gun to shoot the shot, kind of hide around the corner, reload, and get the next shot in, this thing was disgusting. This shotgun was so good. I hope they bring it back at some point in the future. It was so fun to use. I remember hitting 90s and 100s from like across buildings. This thing was disgusting. I wish it would come back. I hope it does. I love the Prime shotgun, and I think it deserves the S tier. Pump shotgun. This is also the spaz. No question about it, Esther. You guys know the pump. Consistently hitting for 100, over 100. Super balanced, fast pullout time. You're not going to beat the pump. If it came back, everybody would just use the pump. That's why they don't bring it back. I think pump deserves S tier. I don't think anyone will argue with this one. Ranger shotgun. A or B tier? I think it's going to go A. I think this is an A tier shotgun. I think it's a criminally underrated shotgun. People do not use it, and they brought it back the second time. I was hitting gray versions of this thing for 150. If you knew how to use this gun, you could be gross with the Ranger shotgun. It was so good and underrated. I think it's an underrated gun. Not a lot of people talk about it because it's hard to use. But if you hit your shot, the spread was so tight, you were basically hitting for 100 every single time. I think this is an underrated shotgun. I think A is a good spot for it. Striker, either B or A. I think B would be too low. I think A is the right spot for this gun. Basically just a rip-off of the pump. Faster pullout time. Damage wasn't crazy. Still really good. I mean, with the gold version, you could be hit for, almost 180, I think, with the striker, but obviously not as good as the pump, so I can't put it in S. I think it was a solid, secondary to the pump when it was out in, was it chapter 3, I believe. So I think A is the right spot for it. Tac, A, old reliable. Everybody loves attack. I don't think it's an S tier shotgun. I mean, it could be, the blue or purple variant for all you OGs back in the day. So it's really interchangeable with S and A. I think A is probably the best spot for it in my opinion. And also, just to clarify, I'm speaking from a build and no build perspective, both of those game modes. I'm not speaking for one or the other. The dub. Okay, well, this thing's awful. So the dub is going into D. I don't know why anybody would ever use a shotgun that would push you back more. It just makes no sense. You're supposed to stay close range, especially with a double barrel, and it just pushes you back. Its only redeeming quality, like the flint knock, is, you can mitigate fall damage with it. But in my opinion, that's the only good use of this gun, and it's not enough for me to bring it to C, so it stays in D. Thunder shotgun. Ooh. I think it's an A tier, and let me explain why. Obviously, this is meant to be a kind of pump of this chapter, and for one, it's a little bit clunky, it's a little bit slower. It doesn't hit for as much damage as, a pump would or a spaz in that case. It still hits for a ton, and this shotgun is gross. It's so good. In my opinion, best shotgun of the season. The fact that you only get 4 shots and it shoots 2 shells each, you're gonna be burnt. Obviously, ammo's not a huge thing with shotguns. You're not gonna be really, but you're gonna be burning through shotgun ammo, and I just think it's okay. I think it could be better. If it shot 1 pellet, I think it'd be better, but I understand that's the whole point of the shotgun. So it's gonna stay in A. And the final shotgun, 2-shot, C tier. I didn't think it was great. I saw people destroying with it. I would always get absolutely destroyed with it. If you were good with it, you could move it to B or A, but I think C is a good spot for it. Maybe B. I think it's interchangeable with both. I think it'll stay in C. So there you go, folks. There is my tier list for every single shotgun in Fortnite history. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, this is just my opinion. Your tier lists are going to be different than mine, of course. But let me know what you guys thought. This is a hard list to make. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Next video will come soon. Don't worry about it. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.